Welcome back, friends and fellow mechanics, to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 and our Let's Play. Now, if you watched the last episode, you may recall that we leveled up to level 9. So let's take a run over here to this toolbox and see what we can get. We have 3 available skill points. And we can get to where we can buy parking alleys for 50% less. We can bring up our renovator skill, we can bring up our movement skill, bring up the fast hands, or we can bring up strong arms, or we can bring up our examination. But I think we will choose strong arm, because that will allow us on the next level up to get another discount when we buy parts. Let's come over here and check out, see what we can get. We can get a battery charger for $550, tread depth gauge for $150, or the onboard diagnostics for $1,500. None of these at the moment are really worth it, so we will back out. And as I mentioned in an earlier episode, we are going to have a car coming up that we're going to have to do an entire body replacement on. That is not this base game Evo, but we are going to jump into the body shop, come to the body work section, and we are going to find the Starline from Ribson. That would be this one here that's advertised as a 98 Nissan Skyline. But as you can see, it does not have that it's a DLC car. So we will come in here and we will buy our first part, the front bumper. So now, let's go through our typical observation. This says the engine's already got 3 out of 18 parts discovered, which if we back out and we go to our order, that's going to be it's going to tell you it's the belt tensioner, cam gear A and cam gear B. So we will start with our examination. Now at this rate, being a level 10 or level 9 and being on episode 10, I think we're doing fairly alright for our levels, as it seems that we are leveling up at least once every episode or every other episode. It already looks like we're going to have to change the brake pad on that right rear. Okay, with that part of the inspection is done. Now we'll come here and do the other tests. Now, I want to point out, if you look down and you see where it says high pressure fuel pump and cam gear back cover at 100%, those are going to be part of the TK aftermarket mod, which I'm sure at some point we will get cars in that those are not 100%. Now we'll test the electronics. Do a compression test. Okay. Now, if you see the part I have highlighted, it says ECU Type A. That looks like it's pretty used to me. So, seeing as it didn't come up in the tests, we're going to unmount it from the car. It's at 16%, so that's going to be one of the parts. It still says that and the engine is working but choppy. We have a part to discover. Vehicle cannot be started. There are 2 parts. So we got some looking around to do. You can tell that this solenoid is not any good. So we'll pull that off. We'll go ahead and put these 2 parts in our list. Let's just bring their list up again real quick. And I can already see that at least one of the parts that's missing from our list is going to be an ignition coil. So we'll put that on for 2. We check our list again. So that was one of them, and we're still missing another, so that tells me it's probably a spark plug. So we're going to need this cam gear. We're going to need this timing chain. We're going to need this cam gear. Then we're going to come over here and begin the process of taking this apart. And we need to do this for two reasons. In order to get to the belt tensioner, we have to take off this one cover. And I'm looking at that oil pan, and I'm pretty sure that oil pan is one of the reasons why the car cannot be started. Now that water pump's going to have to be changed, so we need to drain the coolant. And we'll go ahead and put that on our list. We'll put this belt tensioner on our list. Might help if we switch to disassemble mode. Now we're going to pull this head cover off and see if we can get a closer look at these spark plugs. Oh yeah, we got two spark plugs right here that are no good. So we're going to go ahead and pull those. This third one looks to be no good as well. So now we check our list again. We're going to have to find the fuel injector. According to this, only one of those plugs was actually bad. And the way to find the bad injector is to just highlight it typically, but this one would be the bad injector. So we'll go ahead and put that on our list. So we are going to have to put this car in the air because we have to change out 3 sets of brake pads. And it said the middle muffler. So while we're waiting on that, we can come over to car parts and we can grab 3 sets of brake pads. And we can grab this middle muffler here. Now if we go into exam mode, yeah, you can see the brake pad on this side needs to be changed. The brake pad here is going to need to be changed. And the brake pad there. So we'll start with this. And we'll go ahead and pull that one off. So now we go to all parts. We can get rid of that. We buy the cam gear, the timing chain, now for the other parts we have to go to electronics, get the module, the ECU, 2 coils, and just because they're so cheap, I'm going to buy 4 spark plugs. And we'll come over to this rim. Use our WD-40. And while we're at it, we will pull this middle muffler out. And we'll start the reassembly process there. And we have a caliper that needs to be changed. I don't think it was this one, but let's just double check. It was not. So So while we have the car up in the air, we already know it wasn't the other two back calipers. And this owner only requires a 41% on their parts. So this is a perfect example. Oh, well, maybe not. Because all of my calipers that I have in store are less than 20%. So we will have to buy a caliper. And with that, all the work on the underside of the car is done. So we can lower it back down. Come back into the engine bay. Go ahead and pull this last plug. And we will just start the reassembly process. And if you have a decent memory, you can recall that the two bad coils were on the outside. To move over to this side of the engine fairly quickly, we just back out and then come back in. Then we come back down here, placing our fuel injector, then our fuel rail. The fuel rail is the part that feeds the fuel injectors. Switch to disassemble to take the fill cap off of the coolant reservoir. And with that, the car should be done. We have green ticks on everything, and we will make $4,630 off of this car. So we will get it back on its way to its owner. And now we check what we have for requests. That's just exhausting gearbox, 25 extra credits, 25 extra XP, 25 extra credits. We'll take the Jag real quick, as our time is starting to run out. We'll do this. We'll go here. And the Jag will actually be our last car for this episode. So the episode may run over a little bit in time. But because it's going to give us extra XP, and it's just exhaust, I figure it's worth it. So we're going to need a middle muffler. We will actually have to get into the engine bay and look, because I have a feeling that it's going to be more than just a middle muffler. So it's probably going to have to do with the exhaust manifolds as well. So let's take a quick look. Nope, those exhaust manifolds look to be alright. This one's a little iffy, so we'll pull it off. %. Nope, just the middle muffler. So with this one, we'll do a quick swap with the GTR, just so we can get it up in the air. buy another middle muffler, get underneath the car, focus, change out the muffler. And then we will once again swap it with the GTR. And we will finish up our inspection with the tests. And with that, our tests are complete on this car. And we shall send it off for $150. Take one more check. That's suspension and exhaust, brakes. At the current moment, I'm not seeing anything that is really of any interest to us. So we'll come back in here, we'll get the hood on the GTR popped so we know what we're going to be working on next episode. And once again, we'll find this one. And as soon as we completed 2 cars, we'll buy 2 parts. Then we come to our inventory. Just get rid of the stuff that's not going to be usable. Pretty much anything under 40% I won't keep unless I'm absolutely positive it can be repaired. Spark plugs are not something that can be repaired. Neither are cam gears or timing chains. Okay. And with that said, that'll be the end of this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe if you are not subscribed. And I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, whenever you may be watching this. Thank you.